Maya the bee. Once upon a time, deep within a vast forest, there was a honeycomb nestled securely on a towering tree. This particular day marked a truly significant occasion for all the inhabitants inside, for it was the day when the new baby bees were destined to hatch among these many tiny newcomers. The story focuses on a very special one named Maya, the bee. As the new bees emerged, they were brought forth, and a voice announced, "You will be named Maya." The little bee Maya immediately showed her curious nature, questioning, "Why Maya? Why do we need names?" She had not been told she would have such questions to answer, but a wise voice explained that all bees have names so that others can call out to them. If someone were to simply say "you bee," it would be unclear who they were addressing. Maya then understood, recognizing that names are needed because while all bees are the same in some ways, they are also wonderfully different. This thought was praised as good buzzing thought. Maya was then led outside and was immed. Immediately filled with awe, the beehive felt like being inside a shimmering golden balloon. All around her, the other bees were diligently engaged in their various tasks. Some were meticulously cleaning the walls of the beehive, while others were dropping pollen into something that glittered like a diamond. Still others were simply walking in a perfectly straight line. The new bees, including Maya, were soon assigned their own work. There were the cleaner bees who cleaned the walls, the collector bees, and the worker bees. Maya, ever the questioner, then inquired, "Why do we all have to work?" Another bee, Julian, responded rudely, asking what kind of bee Maya was, stating that bees do not ask questions. However, Julian was admonished for being rude, and Maya, being just a child, received an explanation. Bees have to work because without it they would all become very confused and utterly useless. For instance, if the cleaners did not clean, the beehive would become dirty. If the collector bees did not collect nectar, there it would be no honey. Nectar, Maya learned, is the substance from flowers from which honey is made. The collector bees bring this nectar back from the flowers, and then the worker bees transform it into honey. When Maya asked how the collector bees carried the nectar, she was told that they carry it in their honey stomach, a unique organ that all bees possess. This led Maya to wonder if that was where she felt hungry, but she was quickly corrected that the honey stomach is distinct from the food stomach. One of the older bees then grumbled that if they kept entertaining her, they would be stuck there all day. As days passed, all the new bees were given distinct jobs. Some cleaned the inside of the beehive, others cleared dry leaves from the outside, some collected nectar from flowers, and still others guarded the hive against predators. Every bee had a specific fixed place within the hive, with the notable exception of Maya. She consistently approached things differently from the others. For example, when her bees cleaned the walls with their hands, Maya would simply blow at the walls and consider the task complete. When she observed bees walking in a line, she tried to emulate them but struggled. She recognized her own individuality, stating, "You are you, and I am me. How can I walk the way you do?" Her attempts to walk like others only caused a distraction for another bee. Neither Cassandra, who was a worker bee, nor even the queen herself could find a suitable place for Maya. Maya would simply look at everything with a sense of awe and ask an incessant number of questions. Even when addressed by the queen, Maya spoke freely about her feelings, stating that she did not feel happy seeing everyone always busy just working. Instead, she recounted a moment of joy when she had fallen from the diamond-like structure and felt herself swoosh and fly round and round. She declared her dream to fly, to go outside, and to witness the world. This talk of dreams and happiness perplexed some bees who believed bees do not dream. Cassandra, however, interceded on Maya's behalf, explaining that she had been trying to place Maya, and noted that Maya kept talking about going outside, suggesting that perhaps that was what she was truly good at. Cassandra proposed that Maya could be sent out to collect nectar. The queen found the idea of asking a bee what she wanted to be quite confusing, and at first, as bees' places are typically assigned the moment they hatch. However, if it benefited the beehive, she agreed to it. Maya was deemed old enough to be sent out to collect nectar and was instructed to be trained well, and so Maya received comprehensive training about various flowers. She was then instructed on how to follow the swarm of bees. She was repeatedly warned never to fly alone. Lastly, and most importantly, she was cautioned about the hornets. The hornets were the sworn enemies of the bees, always attempting to steal their honey and harm them. Maya, in her innocence, asked if they could sting the hornets if they were hurt, but he was informed that hornets had become smarter, wearing armors every time they attacked. Only their neck remained vulnerable to a sting, as they did not wear helmets, but hardly any bee had ever managed to sting a hornet in a war. Maya was emphatically told to take good care not to be found by them. Maya bid farewell to Cassandra and embarked on her first journey outside the beehive with the swarm. The moment she emerged, Maya was once again filled with awe. The majestic trees, the lush ferns, the vibrant flowers. Everything was so beautiful she felt she could simply buzz there all day. However, her swarm reminded her that they were there to work, not just to buzz around, and that she needed to stay close to them. But Maya, captivated by the beauty, was not listening. She was too busy reveling in her first flight. In her excitement, she accidentally bumped into something shiny and apologized, not realizing it was her own reflection. She greeted her reflection, mistaking it for another bee, and even compliment it. When she thought the reflection was copying her, she felt it was mean. A grasshopper then corrected her, explaining that it was merely her reflection, and that she was being rude to herself. The grasshopper, named Flip Hopper, remarked that humans often create most of their own problems, much like what Maya was doing. Maya then remembered her purpose and explained that she was out with her swarm to collect honey, but realized with a gasp that she had gotten away and her swarm was gone. Flip Hopper expressed surprise that she had lost her way while with her swarm, again asking what kind of bee she was and what she would do now. Maya decided she would collect some nectar and then try to find her way back home. Flip Hopper kindly pointed her toward a good bunch of juicy flowers. Maya thanked Mr. Grasshopper, correcting herself to Flip Hopper. Maya collected all the honey she possibly could and then buzzed her way back home. She flew through tall trees and dense bushes, realizing it was a long way to go. Feeling tired, she considered resting for a while. Just then, as Maya was looking for a flower, she was captured by hornets. The hornets were jubilant about catching her, referring to her as a cute little bee. One hornet corrected the other, emphasizing that Maya was their sworn enemy, though still calling her an ugly bee with cute eyes. Maya was then locked up in a small room. She was very scared and tried to escape but failed. While trapped, Maya overheard the hornets discussing a very secret plan. They were going to teach the bees a lesson the next day, not a simple lesson with a pen, but an attack on the beehive. They planned to be ready the next morning and would decide what to do with Maya then. The hornets were unaware that Maya was listening intently to their plan. She knew she had to save her family and prevent the attack that night. Maya could not sleep, constantly thinking of what to do. She remembered the crucial information about the hornets. Only their neck could be stung, as they did not wear helmets, but it was hard for bees to sting them in a war. Then she had an idea. As the sun rose, the hornets came to Maya's room, but she had already flown away. Maya flew as fast as she could, reaching her hive just in time. She immediately narrated the entire incident to the queen. The queen swiftly alerted the guards, and the hive prepared for the impending attack. When the hornets arrived, the bees launched their counterattack with full energy. They flew from above and precisely stung the hornets' necks. Maya had taught the bees well. The hornets were utterly confused and dazed, quickly pulling back and retreating in no time. The bees were all immensely thankful to Maya. Her bravery and intelligence had saved them that day. Maya, filled with pride, declared that the hive was her home, and she would do anything to protect it. The queen, proud of Maya, asked her what she wanted to become when she grew up. Maya's answer was profound. She wanted to be a teacher. She planned to share her experiences with all the bees. Yes, and teach them to be their kind of bees. When asked to clarify your kind of bees, Maya explained, I am my kind of bee, and so are all of us. She wanted to empower other bees to embrace their individuality too, despite some who might jokingly say your kind of a bee is boring. Be my kind of a bee. The queen affirmed that Maya was certainly a good teacher and expressed their happiness to have her back. Analysis: the story of Maya the bee is a compelling narrative that delves into themes of individuality, purpose, courage, and community. From the very beginning, Maya distinguishes herself not by her physical appearance but by her insatiable curiosity and her willingness to question established norms. This is evident when she immediately questions the need for names, a concept that seems self-evident to other bees. Her initial defiance of the traditional bee hierarchy, where bees don't ask questions, sets her apart as a unique protagonist. This questioning nature, initially perceived as disruptive and confuse by figures like Julian, ultimately becomes her greatest strength. Maya's struggle to find her assigned place within the hive highlights the conflict between individual desire and societal expectation. While other bees seamlessly fit into roles like cleaners or collectors, Maya's methods are unconventional, such as blowing to clean walls instead of using her hands, and her attempts to conform to collective movement like walking in a line are unsuccessful. This inability to conform leads to her feeling unhappy when she observes the ceaseless, unwavering work ethic of her fellow bees. Her desire to fly outside and see the world is not just a childish whim but a deeply felt aspiration for self-fulfillment and a broader understanding of existence beyond the confines of the hive. This personal dream, initially dismissed as something bees do not have, becomes the catalyst for her unique journey. The queen's decision to allow Maya to go outside, despite it being an unusual departure from the traditional Assigning roles at birth is a pivotal moment that underscores the importance of recognizing individual strengths and aspirations. This flexibility within the leadership allows for an adaptive approach to roles, even if it is initially confusing. Maya's training emphasizes the importance of collective behavior and safety warnings, particularly concerning the dangerous hornets. Her initial awe and distraction upon experiencing the outside world, leading her to lose her swarm, illustrate the immediate consequences of her independent spirit. However, it is this very independence and her unique way of thinking that ultimately enable her to become the hive's savior. Her encounter with Flip Hopper, a character who, like Maya, seems to operate outside strict societal norms, further reinforces the idea of embracing individuality. Maya's unfortunate capture by the hornets, while terrifying, proves to be a crucial turning point. Her innate curiosity and attentiveness, which once caused her trouble in the hive, allow her to overhear the hornets' secret attack plan. This moment transforms her from a lost individual into a determined protector of her community. Maya's ability to recall the specific weakness of the hornets, their vulnerable necks, demonstrates how her inquisitive nature and retention of information, even seemingly minor details, can be critical in times of crisis. Her swift action in warning the queen and teaching the other bees how to exploit this weakness showcases her intelligence and her emerging leadership qualities. The success of the bees' defense, directly attributed to Maya's bravery and intelligence, solidifies her place as a hero. The story culminates in Maya's realization of her true purpose, to be a teacher. Her desire to teach other bees to be their kind of bees is a powerful message about self-acceptance and encouraging individuality within a collective framework. It emphasizes that while conformity might ensure order, it is the celebration of individual differences that can add to innovation, resilience, and true happiness. Maya's journey from an unplaceable questioning child to a heroic teacher beautifully illustrates that one's greatest perceived weaknesses can in fact be one's greatest strengths, especially when combined with courage and a clear sense of purpose. Her unique perspective, which once made her an outlier, ultimately becomes the very quality that saves her community and inspires others to embrace their authentic selves.